Welcome to Still Plays Galaxy of Heroes. This is Grand Arena, the final match of Season 36. And with the win last round, we have finally climbed up into Kyber 2. This is still a Kyber 3 bracket. We've been flirting with this edge for several weeks now, and we finally made the achievement. And now we'll see, with all the changes I've been making to my roster over the past couple months, with Dr. Aphra and Jabba both being unlocked. Now we'll see if we've made enough improvements to the roster where we can stay and remain in Kyber 2, whereas that 2GL life, that was becoming to a point where we were just bouncing back and forth between Kyber 2 and Kyber 3. We'd climb back in, get knocked back down. So now we're going to try and be able to sustain it. Here's a quick review. We won by a good amount because my opponent couldn't full clear me. Because he couldn't full clear me, we did a lot of testing last round. Some of it was interesting, some of it was less so. Dr. Aphra had a good performance. We're not going to do a complete recap here because that's in the last video, but I will click on a territory or two. The Qui-Gon team helping me out again. Up top here, maybe. No help here, but then Fleet is where we got the real help. But we will just move on to the bracket. We're going to try and move this along. We're going to look at Apton here. I'm sure that's pronounced completely differently, but I don't know how to read Coptic or Cyrillic. Pretty close on overall GP. Just 500k difference or so. That's not that... I mean, I guess in the whole scheme of things, it's pretty big, but it's not that much. Omicrons, he is one of the higher Ami players in the bracket at 13. I am the highest. Jobin is the other guy with 13 Amis. He is a 5GL player, which is solid. There was a couple 6GL players in here, and I was tied with two other players for the three of us being the 3GL players. Relic-wise, my opponent is pretty light for having 5GLs. I'm not that far behind him. He is tied for the most amount of relics for this bracket, but that in that 126 range is usually what we had been seeing for the past year in Kyber 2, so that's nothing unfamiliar to me. The depth, other than me, I guess he's right in the middle. He's third or fourth. There's a couple other guys who have more Gear 11 plus units than him. With his relic distribution, here's a quick look. We'll take another look at it in the hotbot. You can see a lot of tier 3, tier 5s, tier 7s, but he does have some action going on with the 8 and 11, so we got to be careful there. The top heavy opponents are the ones who can stop me. They'll mess up my counters. 6-dot mods are... He's got a lot. He's participating, but there's a lot of fluff in there because you can see that in his counts. His averages though are solid. He's right in the middle of the bracket. The top 500 are on the lower end, but he's not the lowest. There's a couple players who are below him. He's more right in the middle. I'm at the top with the highest averages by far. No one even comes close to me, with the top 500 at least. With the counts, we are looking at 25 plus. He's not too far behind. He is quite a bit behind though on the 20 plus and the 15 plus mods. Datacrons, he is the third most active in Datacrons in this bracket. He's got a couple level 9s. He's got a good count on the level 1s, and you can't sleep on those level 1 Datacrons because we're level 1 plus, because you need to throw those. If you have a full squad of relic characters, throw on any Datacron. Just get the stat boost. At a minimum, that's what you should be doing. If you're not engaging with Datacrons when you have the option to, it's like just not having mods on characters. At this point, you just got to do it. No Lord Vader, no Jabba. He has all the other GLs. Count-wise, that's pretty good, but that's actually going to make things a bit easier for us because we're going to have other counters to his GLs, although the Jedi's a little annoying for me. Malgus, he has all 3 Amis on him. I don't think that's necessary. He's got the Raddus Ami, and his Raddus, actually it's only Relic 4, so he's not going to have the Profundity. I didn't know. That's interesting to have that many Omicrons and not have the Iden one. He does have all 3 on Starkiller, and I don't think that is necessary at all. Like, I think he's a 1 Ami character. The other Omicrons really come into play after he's unleashed, and really by the time you get to Unleashed, you've probably won the match. And if you aren't in a position to win the match by the time you get Unleashed, those Omicrons probably aren't going to make a difference. You probably were having a bad run. At least that's how I'm feeling about it. Dash, no. He has no Savage, no Traya. I mean, we're going to take a look at... and he has 3 on Swolo. That's probably where all his Omicrons are going, is he placed all 3 on Swolo, all 3 on Starkiller, all 3 on Malgus. Because he has a lot of Omicrons, and he's missing some critical Omis. I think it pays to be a little bit more careful with putting some of these on and not just being automatic and thinking these characters are good and gonna place them. Now, Maul here is faster than mine. He's got Cat. His Echo is slow, but not that slow. Everything's looking good. The big thing here, though, is no Profundity. Looking at the hotbot, you can see it's a good distribution of green and red. With the guild, he's not too far behind me, so that's fairly active. Undersizes and clears, that's respectable. The clears is probably because of Fleet not being as active in that game mode, so he's probably getting stalled out there. But the undersizes, that shows me that he is a serious player, and to be careful, because that's somebody who is going to be using solos, using undersized squads, which are going to help with the banner counts. So we need to be a little bit more careful. With the relic distribution, again, he's not completely top heavy, but he has a lot of relics on the higher end that could cause problems. He's not that far ahead of me considering how many more relics he has, but 11 relicates is very respectable, because you got to understand, a lot of my relicates, those aren't because they're ones I should have or want to have. It's because those are the ones that I had to have. I've been pretty careful about my relic 8s and relic 9s, and it's really something at this point I need to be adding more elective ones on to strengthen my roster. So that is actually a place where I'm weaker in. Modding is suspect. You can see I have a lot of speed advantages in some key spots, and again, no Profundity. Let's take a look at his speeds in detail here. I have not looked at this yet. And he has 15 characters above 300 speed to give you an idea of the quality of his modding. Remember, his Echo's at 297, his Padme is at 303. So you can see some critical characters are significantly slower than you're going to want them. You want to try and make several of these characters like Bas Lashan, Veers, Watt, Rex, Hermit Yoda, all make them faster than what we're going to be facing. And you can see at the top end here, he does have, though, some of the key characters modded well, just not modded as well as they should be. There's no problems here. It's something that could just get boosted. With the defense, and he has attacked already, and my defense did me a little bit of help, but not a ton. So down below, or up top, you see that my Grievous squad did get a hold. That's probably because he attempted Bad Batch there. That's why I have BB-8. It messes up that counter. The other team's not helping me, but especially the Newt and the First Order squad, those are a kind of nonsense filler. Down below, we are looking at a hold from Maul, but he one-shots Jabba and Malgus. And I'm thinking this is because he goes heavy on offense. There's a good shot that he saved all 5 of his GLs for offense. That's what I'm hoping for, at least. And I think that's in part why he has those undersized win counts as high as he does. And no help on the back wall. And surprisingly up here, he one-shot my entire fleet, which is tough. Probably means he used that TIE Fighter Malevolence counter up against the Executor, and then he probably had Negotiator, and then probably Rebels or something up against, or maybe even Finalizer up against Chimera, but it suggests that he went heavy on offense, and we're probably going to have an easier time with his fleet. Or he could have used Executor, but I'm expecting to see Executor on defense. That's usually how players play. He could have gone Executor, Malevolence, Negotiator too, that's certainly true. Now we got Dash here, but a very weak Dash combo. Zelbar is significantly weaker without mission. The Mon Mothma squad is serviceable. The Dooku squad is fine. We got Night Sisters and Night Sisters at a level where we saw that, I think, in either of the last two matches where I tried to gas solo a fully relict Night Sister squad. Won't be doing that again. Down below, we got to deal with Gas, Phasma, Malgus, and Grievous. So I think we're going to start with Malgus. You know what? We're going to look at the Grand Arena history. We need to do that because here's the thing. We could gas it, but with gas, we're chancing that we need to take 2 shots so we can JMK. But again, he doesn't have Lord Vader, so it's not like we need to be careful with JMK. Because any other combination of GLs, I should have a counter to. Let's just JMK it. Never mind. We're not even going to look at the Grand Arena history. From the looks of it, I would guess it's going to be a weaker wall. Yeah, so we're not going to do as much testing this round because what we have seen is we don't have much wiggle room. He played well enough where we could have some problems. Do I want to use Shakti or do I want to use Padme? Let's get some... Yeah, let's do that. That's fine. Maybe we'll talk a little bit more about Datacrons. Put on any Datacron. Get those stats. Like I was talking about it with my brother. I can see it in the bracket analysis, the degree to which players are not engaging with Datacrons. That is probably one of the biggest places players can have an advantage right now. Is just have... If you're at all engaged with it, you're going to have an advantage over half the player base at minimum. Like they don't even have to be good Datacrons. You just have to have any Datacrons. It's like one of the things that I used to say was the best fleet is having a fleet at all. Because it's always one of those places that players felt like they could ignore and it would cause significant problems. Alright, I'm gonna try and do this so we don't trigger any taunts. And then I need a faster cat. They're taking way too many turns. Okay, now we can eliminate Malgus. Let's clean up our boy Kenobi. And let me tweak some of these audio levels. I feel like they're high. I guess let's get a hit on Revan. Seems like a tanky Revan, though. Maybe we'll just go after Sith Marauder. Everybody's taking some hits. Alright, fine. Let's just do it. I want to get this done and watch Last of Us. Yeah, I was originally going to make a plan for how I wanted to play today, and then it got too late. I want to be done. Just targeting somebody other than Revan so we can get those assists. Hit that ultimate. It's just Revan's more annoying. Hit that armor shred. That was actually not great because we're going to get fear on a lot of people. It's fine. Alright, I want to get healing immunity on Revan. Awesome. Whatever. Okay. All right. This should be about it. Now, gas. I'm somewhat tempted to use Grand Inquisitor here. Although gas will negate the revive Datacron. The Phasma, we have options, and we have options up against Grievous. We might just Wampa the Grievous and not even think about it. Okay, I took a look at his history. He is going to have a GL on his back wall. It's going to be Ray, which we'll probably use Starkiller up against. But it is Swolo. I think we're going to use Starkiller and then clean up if we have to. So I think what that means is, you know, we can just probably CLS this gas squad. I would like to hold on to Grand Inquisitor. Alright, let's get that, and let's also I think I just want some big stats here, so I might use one of these higher level data grons. So we get defense, offense, crit chance, health. Sure, let's do that. The biggest thing we need to be careful with here is the counters triggering the 5 sacrifice. But I think first we're gonna hit Rex so he can't do tenacity up on everyone. We have a nice Relicate Hondo, which is making our life easier. Yeah, let's get blind on everybody. Call in Han. I'm going to not do an AoE right now. We don't want to risk any accidents until Fives is out, and now he's gone. Maybe Arc. I don't really care. He's going to stand up, I think, before we take out somebody. I can't believe I'm happy that he's targeting Han. Because now that Han's Relic 8, we're just getting... he can take a hit that these other guys can't. But I'm a little... I think we've passed that window now. I wish we... Ooh, do not. No. Let's, I'm gonna go with the buffs and let... We're just missing Chupio. That daze is causing us problems. Okay, I'm gonna do this because I don't want to deal with counters yet. Okay, perfect. Okay. Not great with banners though. Yeah, we're just gonna Wampa this. I don't want to think about it. Okay. What was that other team that was... Oh, it was probably Savage. Savage is another option for a nice little solo up against Grievous. It's not as guaranteed though. Alright. That'll be an AoE. Down goes B2. B1 will just keep getting marked. Okay. Let's just take out Newt's annoying me. Alright. Newt's gone. Great. Now Phasma here. How do I want to deal with Phasma? I guess maybe we'll just... Thing is, before Omis, I would have just bad batched them. With Omis, I don't think I can do that anymore. Maybe I can. Forget what this... I get the Phasma Ami and the TIE Fighter Ami confused. I always got to remind myself. Okay, so if they have advantage, they're going to have plus 100 speed. That's not good. Do they start with advantage with the Phasma lead? Yeah, okay, so they're going to have all that going on, which means I'm going to want to use... Okay, this isn't without risk, but I'm going to do it. But this is how I get myself in trouble all the time. All the time. I try to be cheap. Let's do it. I just have this refusal to use adequate counters. Because I don't like overpowering things. It's not fun to me. I want to have some fun. I like to try and get as close to the line as I can. Alright, we'll get rid of the advantage here. Our life will be so much easier if we can eliminate pilots. So, you know what? Let's try and stun Executioner. Perfect. This isn't a situation like Qui-Gon where we got to drive up revives and stuff in order to be able to do the match. This is one where we can... It's going to be much more forgiving. And now the Ami's gone anyway, so we're good. But this is what this channel was built on. This refusal to be safe. Okay. Really looking forward to what the what's his face? Merrick, the Fallen Order Night Sister. Just want to... It'll be nice to boost this squad. My only concern is we're going to have to relic them in order to use him. Like, this was one of those squads that I've loved that you could use undergeared. And I fear that those days are coming to an end. Alright, let's check out that back wall. I'm expecting, like, Bossk, Ray, and somebody else. Yeah, there's two of them, Bossk and Ray, and Qui-Gon. Oh yeah, that's right. Okay. There's no Ami on Bossk, but we do gotta respect the relic levels. Let's just start with Starkiller here. Alright, we got Visas. Little worried about this one, but we should at least get it into a position where it's a cleanup. And as long as it's my only cleanup, we'll be great. Can I stun you? This actually might be the first triple Ami Swolo I've seen. I mean, we've seen others. I just don't know if I've seen. Let's hit the staggers. Okay. I need to drive those stacks. Call in our boy Star Killer. That gets us. That at least triggers that. That went well. Okay, that triggers, but we're still stuck behind this taunt. Oh, we're not getting stacks while we're stuck behind this taunt. We gotta, okay. Let's get rid of that. No, this is bad. This is bad. Alright, let's get offense up on everybody. We'll land another stun at least. Okay, this gets us to Unleashed. We're gonna have to wait. Maybe we can get a stun. No. Oh, yeah, let's throw staggers on the field. We can at least maybe exploit those once we get our turn. This is where we lose Visas. My Visas lived? What? Okay, we're gonna do it. I don't like that we haven't got her into the yellow yet, but we're just gonna do it. Let's do it here on Ray. Yeah, that's what happens. Okay. Awesome. Everyone else, we gotta wait for the damage immunity to come off, so we're just gonna hit Swolo. Don't be dodging. I can't believe the lack of damage that's going on. I'm a little unnerved by it. Wait, how does this work again? I need to... I gotta take them both out at the same time, right? Or something? Oh, we're running out of time. This is not good. Okay. Just take your turn. I don't have time for this. Oh my god, what is going on? Okay, we got an auto from here. I got an... Oh, Swolo, what are you doing? Because JTR. Oh my god, JTR counts too. That's right. Oh my god, that's dumb. Fine. Okay. I didn't think about that. That's the first time I've had to face one with both JTR and Ray. I did not expect that. That's interesting. Okay. Fine. What was up top? Alright, we're gonna... let's do Sana. We gotta do Dr. Aphra somewhere. Have I not created... This is a weaker Mothma, so I know my Son is going to work. And it created some flexibility to not have to worry about using Wampa or finding something else here. I knew this was always going to be viable. No, wait, Conquest starts in the morning, right? I'm just thinking about Omis in my head, and Omis are making me think about Conquest. Because I'm at 85. It's a little bit less than I thought I had. I'm going to drop a few. Well, I guess I just put on the Aphra one, which is why I have a little bit less than I thought. Let's do this. AoE. Gets a couple more target locks. But I guess we lost a few target locks. Whatever. Or we lost one, maybe two. Alright, another AoE. This should do some good damage. Okay. I'm just going after whoever's weak. Sure. Just getting back under stealth. Would you go down, Biggs? Perfect. This should take out my Mothma. Not quite. Oh my god, Mon Mothma. Do not revive somebody, not right now. Okay, that'll take care of Mon Mothma. Now we just gotta do basics until Qira takes a turn. Because I don't want to take her out. Oh my god, we gotta do it more. Fine. Yeah, let's taunt. Oh, fine. This must be so much more annoying if you have higher relics. Okay, there. Because if with higher relics, you're just constantly taking her out and you never get your... It takes longer for her to have the potency go off. Alright, we got Night Sisters. We got Dash. We got... You know what? I want to do dumb things. I'm really struggling to like fight my inner self. Because we don't have the luxury of banners right now to do dumb things. You know what? I should just use gas. Why do this? Let's just negate the revive and not have to deal with the nuisance. Like yes, JML would work, but we don't have to worry about Swolo's mechanics with gas. And it's not like they got the leadership. I should have done gas in the first place. It's just lately I've been doing Star Killer. And it's just kind of like more of a reflex at this stage. Where's protection? Sure, it's good enough. Yeah. Okay. We're going to Grand Inquisitors the Qui-Gon. Nope. All right, let's take that hit. Okay. This is gonna go they're gonna go down hard and fast. Awesome. Awesome. It's crazy how long it took for Inquisitors to get good. I guess it's only been a year since they've been in game. I was gonna do squad arena where the Omicron's not active, like, it beats Darth Revan squads pretty consistently. So I guess it's not just the Omicron. It's her leadership works well. You just got to make sure you don't lose her too early. I'm glad I opted for it and gave her a proper challenge. Next Grand Arena. Well, I guess it'll be 3v3 next Grand Arena, but I'm not going to put on those 3v3 Omis. A 2 Omi investment that's not something I'm interested in right now. But I will at a minimum have her at relics. And potentially the Datacron. The Datacron I already have. I just need to get her to relic 7, and that's a bigger ask right now. Because I'm still recovering from the investment of gear and resources that it took me to get Jabba unlocked and then Aphra unlocked. We have not replenished everything. Okay, so we got Zori, who would be fun. We've got Hondo. Maybe we're just done having fun. Let's do Hondo up against Dash. Even though it's really low on banners. But Hondo's fun. And I'd like to have fun. Alright, we are gonna throw, let's capture Dash. Now we are gonna attack Captain Han. Because his revive might become a problem. Fine, I guess we'll deal with, does this dispel too? Yeah, okay, let's dispel. Goodbye, Qira. Goodbye, everybody. Days I'm not a fan of. Part of the reason I want to get rid of Captain Han. The revive as well, but the Days is a big part of it. Oh my god, this stuns. Okay. They're controlling me much more than they have. Okay. We will capture. Because we get a bunch of other resistances and stats and stuff when somebody's captured. Oh my god, that's annoying. Okay, there goes Captain Han. From here, they're going to fall apart. Awesome. This is fun. I like doing it. I like it. It's just, it's very low on banners. Because you have to lose the other characters in order for him to get a bunch of bonuses. So it's intentionally a single character win. Okay. Gas is gone. I don't know. JTR? Should we JTR this? What kind of AoE situation? So we got Django, Dengar. It's not that much. Let's do a JTR Swolo Sitch. Let's throw on a Datacron. I am risking a little bit doing this. Armor, protection, health, steal. Do I have... We're not going to use bounty hunters. You know what? I've never used that Datacron before. Let's use bounty hunters up against Night Sisters. We'll use this. I was just really interested in the health steal. I shouldn't be doing this. I should have used JML. I really felt like using these guys. Sure, let's do that. Let's throw... Well, you know what? I can target whoever I want. Let's hit Dooku. Awesome. Let's hit Nest. Awesome. See, this is why I like to do fun stuff. Like, JML would be boring. Who cares? Like, yeah, he beats it up. Well, I like to have fun here. This is kind of why I wanted the health steal. But we don't need it. Would have been a couple extra banners though. What's going on here? Get a little afraid when that happens. Sometimes I lose a match. Blue stacks will eat one. Okay, we're not gonna have fun. Oh wait, I was gonna do bounty hunters. Maybe we will have fun. So with bounty hunters, we could do something like... What do I want, Cad Bane? Do like Cad Bane. And we'll throw on this Datacron, which... Let's not do this. I've never used this Datacron. Whenever I've used it, it's been set on defense. And I gave away the Retribution one. Let's just be serious and boring. We'll do Traya. That's a compromise. It's at least more fun than a Geo. Just awesome. Unfortunately, we're stuck behind a taunt, but just awesome. It's because of the plague. Plague took us below the health threshold, so now we can use our stuff. Yeah, we're gonna isolate zombie, and then we can we'll be able to take out Daka. Okay, there goes Daka. Before we start the sacrifices, I am just gonna... Okay, never mind. I wanted to take the protection off of everyone, just so we wouldn't be dealing with this taunt. I can't believe I'm facing Night Sister. This is the second time this week I've faced Night Sisters on defense. It's just like a... I love Night Sisters, but this is from a... Night Sisters on defense is a different era of the game. Alright, that's the last one. Yeah. Okay. Savage has done like everything. The Ami's been helping, but Savage has been basically one-hitting everyone because he's awesome now. I'm just so happy with the Savage Ami because I really like Savage as a character, and for him to now be at a level where he performs like this, very deserving. Okay. Hey, Parker. Yeah, Executor. That's what I thought. That's what my first instinct. Alright, so rebels. Let's get to it. Alright. Mark. Okay, good. I just had an annoying day in Squad Arena where I was just getting horrible RNG and not beating Executor fleets. I was a little paranoid. It's terrible. And we haven't made this point in a while, but never throw Sith Fighter on as a reinforcement. It will mess up your defenses. With all the recovery, I don't care about getting rid of the marked. Usually it's not an issue. And then when it becomes Cassian's turn, Cassian will get rid of it. Cleanse it away. So imagine if IG 2000 was out this entire time. Or Slave 1. Okay. Awesome. And there she stands. No, AoE. Nobody needs to be cleansed. The big thing we do with this counter. Awesome. Just, we don't mess around with reinforcements. See if we can take out Darth Vader. Not quite. He'll probably be gone on his turn though. Yeah, it's just basic. Don't be complicating my day, shuttle. The ultimate hits. It's not great. What is that? Alright, fine. How am I not at that ultimate? Fine. Okay, this is not a 7-star Ranner. It is relict on everybody, but for him, jeez. Okay. There's been plenty of time in game to have done that free to play with no refreshes, because I did it free to play with no refreshes. So for him to have not done it, and for him to be a Ray player, that just means he's not playing all the time, or just not even bothering. Let's do the Scythe. The Scythe is fun. And I'm happy with how we're playing it. Just swapping out slots. Okay, great. Gauntlet goes first. Okay. Not crazy about that. But that's why we have the gauntlet. Didn't get through the protection up. Okay, fine. Buff immunity, perfect. Great. Also, don't do Poe on the front lines. He's so much better as a reinforcement. And the resistance pilot is not good as a reinforcement, so it's just... it makes sense. What is this? That is a good reinforcement for the Raddus, though. That is what I would do. I need to read this kit again. I need to understand why you get, like, how the counts on the formation works. It's been too long since reading the kit and then unlocking the ship. And I didn't make a video on it because I was too busy at the time. Just go down. Although with the gauntlet, we haven't brought out the defender as a reinforcement. Awesome. We did some things that lost banners, like the Hondo maneuver and the Star Killer attempts, but other than that, solid match to finish the season in Kyber 2. And in 3v3, we will be dealing with a whole new set of problems, see what Kyber 2 looks like these days, and whether this new look still plays roster can be more competitive. This video, because we didn't get to the editing in time, we actually get the benefit of being able to tack on the Grand Arena history results from this past week onto the video. So here in round 1, my opponent barely participated. SWGOH up against Jabba, Wampa, Sith Eternal Emperor, and attempted CLS up against Beskar Mando. Here is the Datacron. This was a nice result, and it's why I've been considering moving Maul over to defense, but also because once Admiral Trench becomes active, Jango is likely going to move over to Trench if that team is very good, and Watt is going to come off the squad, and I think that creates a little opportunity to reconsider how we're going to be using the squad. You could still put Hondo there, but without the damage output from Jango, I think the squad's going to be better served on defense. Round 2, Nico got stalled out by my fleets, but my squads did get a couple holds. Qui-Gon standing up to Shaak Ti. He took Darth Revan up against Maul. Cleaned up with Sidious, Sith Eternal, Grievous. These were more standard counters up against some weaker defensive teams. Wampa failing up against Dash is interesting. It's only Relic 5 though. Maybe the mods were also poor. Not the Datacron I would have put on Wampa. The dot Datacron was what I would have put on there and probably would have had a better result. That's a surprise to me. And he just didn't even attempt the battle up against the Profundity. In the final round, this opponent did very well, but my squads did get a couple holds. You can see Jabba drawing a GL, that's why he was going there. But I had a good Jabba squad by this final week of Grand Arena. Malgus going down to a GL. And here's Troopers falling to Maul, and that's probably because of Beskar Mando. The damage immunity getting triggered by a Trooper squad is going to mess up that counter. Cleaning up with JML, Wampa up against Iden. This is actually one Smorgas in the Discord. He was throwing in TIE Fighter pilot because of the tenacity down, but I think my mods, I had crit damage mods, not crit chance mods, and you want the crit chance mods in order to make sure the tenacity down is being inflicted, so I wasn't able to pull that off. But it's something that he's been getting good results out from that are interesting. My crit chance just was probably nowhere near close enough in order for that to work for me. Now, Maul here losing to Geos is a bit of a surprise, but I think that's because we're looking at low gear on Armor and Canderous. Probably the first Merciless Massacre went off and knocked out Armor, maybe a couple attacks after that, knocking out Canderous, and then the team starts falling apart. And what we're also expecting is they probably didn't get the high stacks of Anguish early on, because without Watt there, they're not going to have an early first turn be triggered for the Frenzy to get triggered, and I would have been sped up by BB-8 being present here. So just an unideal Maul failing to a slightly tricky Grievous squad. And then you can see just weaker counters beating weaker defenses. And good results here. This time, I wish I had a finalizer fleet as good as this, but I don't have SWGOH. Him beating my Executor in one shot with finalizer is a nice result. And we'll wrap it up there. We got Conquest starting. Well, by the time you watch this, Conquest will have already started, but I hope that it will all be going well for you guys, and I encourage you to play for those Datacrons you can just throw in a good squad and hit auto. That's what I do. I'm not playing these matches. I'm sending in good squads, hitting auto, setting my phone down and walking away. And whenever I come back, do it again and again throughout the day. Just things like that. Just pull out your phone, throw in a squad, hit auto until you're out of energy. Just things like that. But thank you for watching. Be safe out there, everyone. Be excellent to each other. This still plays Galaxy of Heroes.